why don't you come follow me? And I thought to myself, why would I go follow you and waste time? I'm never going to make a sale with you right next to me. I'm going to get out there. I'm going to figure this out. And he laughed at me. Yeah, because he's like, yeah, this is never going to happen. But I'm determined and I was excited. And I knocked on that first door. And as I knocked on the door, what's up guys, Dwayne Richens, door-to-door realtor. Today we're going to talk about some fears that people are facing. I did a live event on YouTube today. And one of the agents said, how do you get over the fear? I'm just scared to death of getting out there and knocking doors. So today we're going to talk about some of the stories that have happened throughout my career of door-to-door sales and how to overcome some of those fears and how you can turn those fears into successes. We're going to break this up into different sections. The first section is going to be about early challenges. So when you're brand new at real estate, I remember my first time actually knocking on a door. And I had no clue what product I was selling. I went out with my manager and he set me in the car and he says, so this is the basic product. You really want to engage with your client. Why don't you come follow me? And I thought to myself, why would I go follow you and waste time? I'm never going to make a sale with you right next to me. I'm going to get out there. I'm going to figure this out. And he laughed at me. Yeah, because he's like, yeah, this is never going to happen. But I'm determined and I was excited. And I knocked on that first door. And as I knocked on the door, I was like, holy cow, I have no clue what I'm going to say. And the customer just blew me off the door. Now you can react two ways. You can react and go, oh my gosh, that sucked. And I'm never doing this again. Or that was hilarious. I cannot believe how bad I got stumped. Let's hit the next door and see if I can make it farther. And that was kind of my mentality. I wanted to make a game out of it. I wanted to make it to where I could go further and further with each client and be able to get to the point where I could learn where my mistakes were. So early on, I'm recording myself and I had this goal. He made it sound like I wasn't going to be able to succeed. And me being the determined little stinker that I am, I'm like, dude, I got this. I'm going to go and I'm going to show him that I can sell a deal my first day without me even knowing the product or the paperwork or anything about what I'm doing. And that was my goal. So I pushed and I pushed. Within about 3 hours, I closed my first deal. And I called him and I said, hey, I'm in so-and-so's house and I need help doing this paperwork up because I've never done it before. So if you can come over here, here's the address, and come over and help me do the paperwork up. And he was blown away. And it all started with just having the right mindset. So don't be scared as you knock on the door. Yes, it's a little bit intimidating, but make it more of a game. Make it to where, hey, if I can get good at this, I can make a lot of money. And if I can get good at this, I have unlimited prospects. So my goal is not to be uptight, not to be nervous. Be okay with rejection because you're going to get rejected. You're going to get a lot of no's. That's what sales is. You're going to get a lot of no's to get the yeses. And when you get the yeses, you get paid a lot of money. So that is why the yeses are so important in our career. So early on, early stages, make it a game. Make it a process in which you get better each and every door. Record yourself. Listen to yourself back. Learn what not to say. Learn what gets you trapped where you don't know where to go. And that's another funny thing that I had happen is when I got to a point where I would, get backed into a corner and then I'm like, I have no clue what to do. I would even say that to the clients. Like, guys, I'm new at this and I have no idea where to take this conversation, but I appreciate your time and have an awesome day. And I would go out and I would sit there and rehearse. Okay, I made it to here, got it to here, and I should have said this and this. Let's go try it again. Don't be scared to make mistakes. That's how you're going to get better. And then the next stage, once you overcome the fears and the obstacles, that's when you really want to start fine-tuning your pitch. That's when you want to start fine-tuning the questions you're asking. That is when you want to get to the point where you can then predict what they're going to say and then guide them through a process. At this point, you're now starting to get a system down. Once you start getting your systems down, the game starts to get a lot funner. Now, there's going to be some variations with different types of clients, and that's the next step of this process. You can start to learn how to interact with personality type, and you can tell the personality types by how they answer the door. Now, if you get someone that's very closed off, don't even open their screen door, and is very elusive, you've got to be a lot quicker, okay? If you get someone that opens the door all the way up and just says, hey, how are you? Just super, super nice from the time you enter the conversation, you've got to worry about spending too much time on the door with that person. So each person that you go through this process with, you've got to learn how to interact and how to engage. If you've got someone that's very skeptical, you're going to want to use statistical data. You're going to want to use graphs and charts and information that they can research. You're going to have a little bit harder time closing them same day. So these are the things you start to learn after you've gotten through the fear stage, after you started to build a process. Then you're going to start to identify personality types. And once you get through the personality types, then we start looking at how do we improve our conversion ratios. Because then you can say, I mirrored the personality type of this person. You've got to mirror the personality type. So if you've got someone that is crazy energetic, make sure you're smiling and have fun with that person. If you've got someone that's very serious, you cannot be crazy energetic. You cannot be aggressively happy with that person. Or you'll be like, oh, please get off my door. And so you can't take an owl personality or someone that's very skeptical and try to hurry and close them and get them to make a same day decision. It's not going to happen. So during this last phase, as we're going through the fears and the steps of door-to-door real estate, you've got to then start focusing in on the little minor details, the listening skills, going back, listening to your recordings and see where they're opening up a conversation for you to ask a closing question, how your personality type is ranging. I've had times, guys, where I'm struggling. I've gone an hour or 2 hours without closing a deal, and I'm like, what the heck's going on? So I'll record myself, and I can go back and listen to it and go, okay, you're being too pushy. You're being too aggressive. Your personality is too low. You can tell you're grumpy. You can listen to all of the little details, and that will help you increase your closing ratios to where it's a lot easier to process them. Now, when I say that, I mean you should be processing all of these charts every day. And once you get down to the final details where you're starting to close at a higher ratio, you will know what you're doing wrong. If you're doing something wrong quickly, and you can adapt, and your conversion ratios go through the roof. So guys, here we go. First things first, don't be scared. Have fun with this. Make it a challenge, make it a game in which you can increase and get better each time. Second, learn the steps. Learn the different steps that you're going to take these people through the process, okay? Third, learn the personality types. As you learn the personality types, you're going to get better and better, and then you'll know how to interact with each personality type in a way that you can close them. Lastly, you're going to take an overview of all of this and start learning your flow, how people are going to respond, and then get to where you are dialed in on listening. Once you've dialed in on listening, then you can start closing at a higher ratio. Then you don't need to record anymore. You don't need to listen back to all your recordings because you've done it so long. You can do it on the fly with your client. And if you ever get in a stump where you're not closing deals, then just go back and listen to it. Go back and record a couple and listen to them again. But guys, as you fine tune this process, the fear goes out the window, the confidence comes in, and you will sell at a really high level. And that's where we're all hoping you can get to. So guys, write down some of the fears you have as you're starting real estate, some of the fears you dealt with when you first started, how you're doing now, how you overcome it, because there are a lot of people that can benefit from that. And this community should be a community where we're helping each other. So make sure you're putting your comments in below. Make sure you like and subscribe and keep watching our stuff. Appreciate you being on our channel. Thanks. Have a great day.